what we consider worship is a lot different from what they consider worship.
Yes. One of the things that you see in scripture is if there is no sacrifice, there is no worship. There's no sacrifice, there's no worship. In the Old Covenant, even before the Torah was given to Moses, every single time, starting from Adam, Cain and Abel had to offer a sacrifice. That's how they worshiped the Lord. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all offered sacrifice. God, in meticulous detail, explains to Moses how to offer sacrifice. And so, in the New Covenant, who's the sacrifice? Christ. Christ offers himself as a sacrifice. He's the priest and the sacrifice. The New Covenant also has a sacrificial worship, and it's his body and blood. That's why in Acts chapter 2, verse 42, it talks about in the early church, the church has been established for 5 minutes in Acts 2. And it says that they devoted themselves to prayer and the breaking of bread. In Acts chapter 20, verse 7, it says on the first day of the week, they gathered for the breaking of bread. Again, this breaking of the bread. The first thing Christ does pretty much after his resurrection, obviously he appears to Mary Magdalene, but then what does he do in Emmaus? The timeline seems to tell us it's on the same day of his resurrection. He walks with the disciples in Emmaus. One of them, tradition tells us, is Luke, which is why it's in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 24. He breaks bread with them. He offers a liturgy. So the sacrifice now in the New Testament, the way in which we worship God in spirit and in truth, is through the Eucharist. And this is a fulfillment, by the way, of the prophecy that we see in the Old Testament. What you see in Malachi and in Isaiah and in many of the prophets is that when the Messianic era comes, that all the Gentiles will begin to offer sacrifice. That's what you see. That's the prophecy. So to the Protestant, I have to ask them, okay, where is the fulfillment of this prophecy? You know that the Messiah came, it's Christ. Right. So where is the sacrifice being offered by the Gentile priests? If you're Protestant, there's no sacrifice being offered. But we know that in all of the churches throughout the world, in all of these different nations, the Eucharist is being offered. That is a sacrifice. It's Christ being offered. And it's not that we're re-crucifying him a second or third time, right? A lot of people like to go down that route either. No, we are offering what was offered once and for all, right? But now it's made manifest to us on our table. That's why Christ was able to offer the sacrifice of the Eucharist before his crucifixion on the night of Thursday and after his crucifixion on Sunday, because this sacrifice is eternal. In Hebrews, it says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever.